Hi, this is Kat. Today I will be going over my 2025 reading journal setup. My 2025 reading journal will be using the Notebook Therapy Komorebi original size notebook. This came in a limited edition set and it's in their original size, so it's slightly smaller than an A5, and it comes with 160 GSM paper on white dot grid paper. As you can see, I already started to fill out my reading journal, or at least set it up. So I had an old book, a really old book that I found in the closet, and it was completely falling apart, so I thought I could turn it into art. I glued two of the pages directly onto the notebook, and I tried to make it look a little nicer by adding these stickers. So these are the stickers that I got on Etsy. They're really beautiful. They're kind of like a dry flower type of vibe, but a little bit different. And then I'm just writing my reading journal on top. Next, I added two more of the giant flower stickers here for my first 2025 setup page. And then I have a bookshelf that I've drawn on. This is the first time that I'll be doing a bookshelf setup, but I see a lot of people doing it and it looks like a lot of fun. So I'm going to draw out a little bookshelf, and then every time I finish reading a book, I'm going to draw a book onto the bookshelf. Now I'm going to set up my book bracket for the year of 2025. In a book bracket, you normally have a favorite book for every month of the year, and then the idea is that you are comparing the best book of each month with different months. So in my case, I set it up in kind of a quarterly basis. So January, February, March will have a best out of the three that will go into that first, second rectangle shape. And then there will be a favorite book for April, May, and June respectively. But then of those 3 months, there will be one that comes out on top. And then you do the same thing for July, August, September, and then the same thing for October, November, December. And so the idea is that there will be a best book for each quarter of the year. And then in my case, just given the layout of the page, I have January, February, March, so quarter one competing against July, August, September, so quarter three. And then one of those two books will then win and go to the finals, if you will. And then I have like Q2 and Q4 competing against each other, which is a little bit not ideal, I think, because it's not chronological. And so it might have made more sense for Q1 and Q2 to be the ones that are competing against each other, but it is what it is. And I think that this will be kind of fun in anticipation of what I'll be reading. So that's kind of how I've set it up. And then I've just kind of colored in the different grids or boxes, I should say, these different rectangular boxes to make it look a little bit nicer. I also usually map out what I'm going to do design-wise before doing it with a pencil, and so I'm just going through it again with a kneadable eraser to erase some of the pencil marks here. Finally, for this section, I like the colors. I like kind of the soft muted brown and pink vibe of the page setup, but it's not super decorative. So I added a couple of book stickers that I got from the Notebook Therapy, I believe it was the Our Stories washi tape set, and they have like these cute little book stickers, so I plopped some on to make it a little bit more festive, and I chose to just put the brown books. And then in that same collection, they had these like little bookshop stickers. So I decided to put that on as well. But I think that throughout the year, I will definitely be adding on more decorations as I go, maybe even depending on the books that I read. So now I'm going to set up my tracking pages, and I'm going to be using 2 washi tapes, again from the Notebook Therapy Our Stories washi tape set. These washi tapes are so beautiful. They have this like little gold foil details, and there is like the little shops washi tape set, and then they have a bookshelf washi tape set, and they're both so beautiful. I think they like instantly make the page more exciting. And now I'm going to set up the 3 things that I want to track for my reading. So the things I want to track this year are format, genre, and method. So for the format, I am interested in knowing how many physical books I read, audiobooks, and ebooks. I don't normally like ebooks, and I'm very new to the audiobook world, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to track anyway. So I'm going to set up the different colors that will correspond to the different formats, and then as I read each book, I will color in the column for the right format. And then it goes the same thing for the genre. So for the genre, I want to track whether it's a fiction book, a nonfiction book, or a book for work. And for work, it's typically a nonfiction book, but I thought I would differentiate to see how much of my reading goes towards my professional development. So that's something I was interested in tracking. I also thought about breaking down the fiction section into different categories, maybe like the areas that I read a little bit more, genres that I tend to read more, but I thought maybe for this year I'll just start with this and then see how it goes. Then for the method, I want to know how many books I am borrowing from the library, how many books I am listening to on Spotify, how many I purchased new, and then how many I purchased old. So by purchased old, it means going to secondhand bookstores, buying books on Facebook Marketplace, or maybe like taking it from a friend, anything like that. It's kind of hard setting up these types of pages at the beginning of the year because I don't know how many books I'm going to be reading, and I don't have a specific, number of books I want to read in the year goal. For me, tracking a reading journal or keeping a reading journal is more about memory keeping and having fun with it. So I don't really know how many books I'll read, but I think what I'll do is I'll save the next page for an additional tracking page as well, just in case. And if I don't turn it into a tracking page because I don't read that many books, then I will make it like a reflection page. One thing I am also really interested in though is setting up a reading related spending tracker. So I plan on just writing down every single purchase I made on this little page, and the idea is that I really don't want to spend too much on reading. I really want to go to the library more, borrow more books from the library, and use my Spotify account to listen to different audiobooks, and I want to decrease the number of books that I buy. So that's why I have this page set up, just to kind of remind myself to not purchase books, and that's why I'm keeping it just to one page. So now I'm going to create my list of books I read in 2025 setup. And for this, I'm going to cut the page of the next page to create a book within a book effect, just like this. The width of the page is about 19 dot grids wide. Then I'm going to kind of draw it out in a pencil so I can outline it with this washi tape, again from the Notebook Therapy Our Stories washi tape set. It's just such a beautiful collection of washi tape. It was so expensive, but it's so beautiful and so cohesive. So I'm really glad that I have it. And I think I just about ran out of the washi tape. So I'm going to use the same set to kind of make it a little bit more cohesive and neat. But first, I'm going to use the chunkier washi tape with that gold foil and like this kind of vintage writing type of feel to it to kind of frame the pages. And once I finish doing this step, I will then color in my book within a book so that the contrast is a little bit higher and it actually looks like a book instead of just looking like part of the page. Once I finish doing that, I'll add the 2 finishing touches, which are adding 4 little books that are, again, part of that sticker set. And then just to create a little bit more cohesion across the pages of the reading journal as a whole, I'll add on 2 of the dried flower stickers that I have, kind of similar to the front page of my journal. And as a last step, I'm just going to write list of books 2025 to complete this page setup. Okay, side note, I went back to the tracking pages because I thought it looked a little bit weird, and I just highlighted the header section so that it looked a bit neater. Now for the final flip through of my reading journal. Here is the first page for the 2025 setup with the bookshelf. Then we have the book bracket for the best book of the year. And then we have the tracking pages for the format, genre, and method. My reading spends tracker. And then we have the list of books for 2025, including that little flip through. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you did, and have a great rest of your day.